I want this to mostly be a portrait, so I'm just tracing with my hand about how big I would like the face to be. Placing the chin right now. And you'll notice I am using this yellow marker. I discovered the hard way that using a darker color when it comes to acrylic and marker together is a problem, because something about the dye in the marker, it's very resistant to the acrylic. And so oftentimes I've been in situations where I tried to paint acrylic over the marker and the marker just would not go away. I'm actually sketching lines to show the direction of the fur. That's the key thing to painting fur, is looking at the direction. Is it going up or down? These strokes against the chest, those are all pretty diagonal, and then down by the stomach. And I'm not going to stay super faithful to the reference photo. I'm actually going to take out all the arms. I'm just going to make him a big blob of fur. Okay, I'm going to start with the facial features because I feel like that's the center of all this fur. And so I'm going to see the face as this focal point. It'll be an anchor where things are tighter and more clear. I'm going to do really bold graphic shapes. Okay. Big, round, beady eyes. Do it. He's so funny looking. Oh my God. You guys ever laugh at your own artwork? You're so tiny. Look at this little bitty ear. There's a lot of correlations between all of these various animals, and they all present very, very different challenges. I'm just going to touch a couple spots like this, but just a few strokes so I can say, okay, it's about. So what I'm doing now, I'm not expecting these lines to actually show up, because I do think with fur, it is very easy just to go bleh and scribble stuff in. But the thing is, fur and hair in general, there's a lot more structure in there than you might think. I mean, the whole reason I use the marker, that's one thing you guys can think about is, okay, what's your anchor point? For me, it's largely this mouth, a little bit the eyes, but most of this really is about having a couple tight spots so that you can go crazy. Because if you just go crazy, you're not going to do so well. You can layer strokes. So if you have the same color, but you draw over it more than once, you can get it more rich. So you can see the skin here, the orange patch, it follows the wrinkles at the bottom. So even when you think you're just drawing in a patch of color, you're not. You're also still following the strokes. There's another photo in the Flickr collection that has this really, really bright green background. So I'm curious if that's going to work well, because I don't like the white. And let's just see. Oh my gosh, that's like yellow. Ew. Let's see what this is. Okay, that's okay. It seems like I need to add a little bit of green to this. It's way too yellow. Geez, I did not anticipate that. I'm going to keep this pretty thin. I'm just adding straight water to this. Dries pretty fast though. Get a little variation back here. Ooh, that was a fun bleed. Cool. Look at that. I need way more. You know what I'm going to do? Because I'm impatient, I'm just going to drop some green in there. Now, the thing to remember about yellow is inherently a very transparent color, which means it's a very weak color. Red is very strong. Usually it is. So when I add the red, I add it in very small increments. You can see that was such a tiny bit of red, and it's like it turned it orange within a second. So sometimes when people say to themselves, oh, I want to mix orange, your first impulse is to say, okay, half red, half yellow. But it's actually not like that because of the strength of the color. And so oftentimes it's more like 90% yellow and 10% red. And so you have to consider the strength of the color, because some colors are just really strong and others are very, very weak. You mix a color and you're like, oh yeah, that's the color. And then you put it down and it's like, it's not what it looks like on the palette. So for me, this looks too red. That's better. I think I'm going to wash it down a lot, put a lot of water into this because I don't want it to be thick. I want it to be nice and thin because it's a preliminary layer. So let's get it on some of the key areas. I think up here, sort of bald in that upper area. I'm just doing a wash, but does everybody see I'm already following the strokes? And so it's sort of getting yourself into the mindset of looking for those directions, because already this goes up and down. And so that's the way my strokes are going. So even at that preliminary stage, you're already thinking about fur. So that's, I think for some people, that's the big mistake, is they think, oh, I'll just color it in. But no, you should already be in the mindset that, yes, I'm going to be adding all this fur. And so you're building that direction. Again, just a value thing. I'm not trying to do much more than that. Big head. I feel like I lost part of his head up here. You'll notice I am trying to really show my strokes here. I'm going to build up the washes. So you can see right now, these washes, they're not that dark, but it's because I need it light. So that way I can go in and just map out the value, and then I'll add darker value. So in the beginning, you don't want to be too dramatic about that. Oh, too wet, too much water. You have to really manage how much water is in your brush. Basically, the more water that's in your brush, the harder it's going to be to control. Let's test this out here. Does everybody see that dry brushing? That is the type of stroke I'm after. Oh, that's better. Okay, let me try the fan brush. Let's just see. So this is the fan brush. Oh, I like that better. Oh, okay, let's do the fan brush. I think the bristle brushes, it's like it didn't work that well. This is really funny, this guy. You can also see that I'm twisting the fan. I'm not just painting like this. Like I'm sort of pushing it and twisting it. I lost the breast. Crap. Like really make it dark here. I just want to see if it's going to help me up here. Oh, that's really bright. I'm going to have another brush handy so I can blend a little bit better. So this is to bring back the form. And you can see I'm using the second brush to like scrub. Again, this is all transparent, what I'm doing right now. Okay, so I put that down and then I scrub it. At least I hope I can scrub it. You're painting the fur texture, but it's in the highlight. Don't be afraid to show your brush work. It's surprising. The marker goes on really well over the acrylic. Like you wouldn't think that that was the case, but it really does well. Ugh, I'm losing this eye. Shoot. I'm going to make it really dark and I'm going to paint the orange back. More at the bottom. Get there's this like really nice bright orange stroke in the middle. So a lot of this is layering. I mean, to me, painting is all about putting it down, taking it away, and putting it back. This is when you get to the point of like, whatever. Just throw those strokes down.